with nuclear power, things that we have pushed, things that not only are important to the nation, but areas that South Carolina can lead in, Ms. Ann, and we will continue to do that over the next 2 years.
One of my things, though, Gresham, is the earmarks.
Yeah.
So many of our states have done very well with this stimulus package.
Sure.
What about South Carolina?
Well, I know South Carolina got its share, and I'll be the first to tell you that the earmark system is broken.
Mm-hmm.
There are major problems with how earmarks are done and how they are put in. But I'll tell you in the same breath, I put earmarks on my website, and I support 3 different kinds. Anything that has to do with infrastructure, and I'm talking about water, sewer, roads, bridges,
mm-hmm.
anything that deals with national security, mm-hmm. and anything that deals with energy. Now, we get a lot of requests from a lot of different organizations. A lot of them fit those 3 criteria, and we send them forward. A lot of them don't. But we put them on our website. We post them. We have fresh air and sunshine transparency so you can follow the process the whole way. I mean, there are certain things that the federal government and government is supposed to do.
Right.
And there are certain things that don't fit that criteria. And I think with those 3 criteria, infrastructure, energy, and national security, and they all kind of tie into each other, I think that's what the federal government's supposed to do. And I kind of take the Strom Thurmond philosophy. I'm going to fight to make the budget just as hard as I can, just as tight as I can, just as fiscally responsible as I can. But once the parameters have been set, my state has needs just like everybody else.
Sure.
And if it's a worthy project that can move my state forward, that fits those parameters, that federal government or state or local government is supposed to do,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to work to get those funds for my district and my state.
Right. Well, I just kind of question, like, a swine odor, right?
Absolutely.
Or tattoos for gang members, tattoo removal,
Absolutely.
Things like that. I just don't really see those, and yet here we sit in South Carolina with the 2nd highest unemployment in the country, right? That came out.
Closing in on 10%.
Yeah, well, it's actually right here in Greenwood. I think it's 12.5%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Well, and it goes to show you, I think it goes back to my earlier point, Ms. Ann. It's all about the economy. It's all about empowering people, not government. Mm-hmm. Not growing the government largesse and not empowering people in the public sector, but empowering people in the private sector, because they are the men and women. There's 82,000 small businesses in South Carolina. That's 2 or more employees. They make up 97% of the businesses in South Carolina. But yet, when you look at the Obama budget, over 55% of the small businesses will hit some type of tax increase. Is that pro-business? Is that pro-growth? Is that pro-jobs and pro-economic opportunity? I don't think so. And I think, one of the other things that really bothered me was when we came out with that the government was going to make it able for us to get more SBA loans. Yeah.
Do we really want loans at a time like this?
Absolutely.
We don't want loans. We want to survive and not go further in debt.
One of the things that one of my colleagues from Texas, Louis Gohmert, proposed, everybody pays payroll taxes every week or every month when they receive their paycheck.
That's right. This is the FICA program, right?
I'm sorry?
The FICA program?
Absolutely. And not only does the employee pay it, but the employer pays it also.
7.5%.
I mean, it is a matching type of fund. What if we suspended those for a month, or what if we suspended them for a 6 months or for a year? Now, you talk about an immediate impact upon the economy.
That's right, Gresham. We talked about that.
Those monies would go directly into the pocket of the employer, directly into the pocket of the employee. You don't need a government program to kick those back. You don't have to kick out any checks or do any paperwork.
Right.
I mean, it just makes perfectly good sense. We push that, and of course, ineffectively.
So what's the problem? Why can't we talked about this last time. We called it Fiscal Investment for the Citizens Agency.
Absolutely.
Why can't we just do this? That would be something. Nobody has to do anything. We just have to say it.
Unfortunately, Ms. Ann, it gets back to the people that are in charge in Washington, D.C., and they think, their philosophy is government is the answer, and not empowering the individual or the small business person.
Well, I think if we don't do something that can put some money in the people that are working every day, we've got more problems than they can ever figure out how to handle.
Absolutely. I mean, when I think about economic opportunity and what we could do across this nation and across this state, I mean, just think about energy.
Right.
I've told you the story about the economic announcement that we made in Lawrence County. It was $150 million. It was back in the summer, the Brazilian plant that was moving in. It was the largest, at that time, economic announcement in Lawrence's history, which was fantastic. But the Lee site in Cherokee County, that is a $10 billion investment. You talk about real job growth and real opportunity. And let me put it in perspective. I'm a very visual guy. If I had a $1,000 bill, Miss Ann, and I stacked $1,000 bills on top of each other to $1 million, $1 million would be 4 inches high, okay?
Right.
If I had $1,000 bills and I stacked them on top of each other to $1 billion, we're talking about 68 stories high.
That's a lot of buckos.
A lot of buckos. And I apologize. I got to run.
All right. Well, hey, let me ask you one more question.
Lay it on me, girl.
All right. Would you take the money if you were the governor of South Carolina right now? I got to ask you that question. It's running around down here. Would you do it?
My governor, I applaud him for trying to figure out how to use the monies. I certainly applaud him for trying to use it on the debt to lower our overhead, to lower our long-term obligations. But I guess the bottom line is, South Carolinians are going to pay for this money, whether we use it or not. And I think that it's incumbent upon the governor and the legislature to figure out how we can use these funds. Absolutely.
All right. Well, anyways, I'll let you go. Enjoyed it. Sure hope you'll give me a call and we can talk some more.
Thanks, Miss Ann. You take care.
All right. Bye-bye, Gresham. All right. Well, there you go. We heard from Gresham Barrett right here on WLMA.